An opportunity is being created right now, right in front of our eyes, and some of us are dismissing it. Instead of looking at it as an opportunity, we are being fearful. Those fearful opportunities are where investors make a lot of money. And we on the other side, who are sitting on the sidelines doing absolutely nothing, will feel salty in a couple of years. You never know when the opportunity reaches its most profitable moment. And that's why you want to recurringly kind of keep looking at this. Wow, this is getting cheaper and cheaper. And I'm talking about around stocks in the crypto market that's happening right now. This week, we are about to actually hear from the feds in terms of what's going to be the outlook on the economy when it comes to jobs, when it comes to the interest rates cuts that they're targeting. The Dow, Nasdaq 500, they have been down 10% from their all-time high as of 2025 of this year so far. Is this the bottom? We absolutely do not know. But are things on sale right now? Yes, they are. Some stocks are even down 40, 30%. And you could look at this as, man, is this going to go down even more? I'm going to wait for it to get even more. I had target prices on certain stocks and crypto, which surpassed that point, which I wanted to get into. What do you do at that point? Do you wait for it to go down some more? If you're getting it at that discount, which you were so looking forward to, and it finally reached that point, so now you see an opportunity for it to go in the uptrend because you was like, man, I couldn't wait for Bitcoin to hit 80,000 and it reached there and you did absolutely nothing, you're missing out, because at one point it's going to reach 160,000 and you're going to be like, dang, I really wish I should have bought Bitcoin around that price point. You definitely want to pull yourself out of the situation and think mathematically and think from a very analytical standpoint. If you don't have no much cash and you're tapped out, then of course you're out of options. You just got to sit there and wait. But if you do have cash, you want to recurrently buy. And if you have a whole lot of cash, you got to split it up. One of my rules of thumbs is buy 25% as it keeps going down, and more. The market never went down beyond that. So for example, if you look at the 2008 crash, we experienced a 50% decline. So if you think about the market dropping 25% the first time, and you put in a lot of cash then, and it dropped another 25% from that perspective, you put some more of that cash, and then your third trial, when it drops another 25%, you put there, you most likely have reached the bottom at that point. And if it never reached that third 25% or even that second one, then that's okay. You got this extra cash. What do you do with it? You could recurrently buy, keep buying, because you never know when that bottom reach or how high it's going to go. And history repeats itself in terms of it getting higher. It always does. It never gets a point where it just goes down the downtrend to the point where it gets to zero. I think that's a fear, the mindset some people have, and they think, oh wow, NASDAQ is going to reach zero or the Dow Jones is going to reach zero. For that to happen, it's almost impossible. But I think for that to happen as well means that Jesus Christ is returning, the world is ending, and the stock market at that point don't even matter. Your crypto don't matter at that point. Just let it all go, because you have a heavenly reward waiting for you that is way bigger than what we have on this earth, because up there the streets are gold. So if you reach that point where you thinking about it, wow, I need this money, you really won't if the stock market or the crypto market goes to zero, because that's the only way I see that actually happening. Maybe there is another way that this can actually happen, but who knows? But historically, it keeps going up and up throughout all these depression times, throughout COVID. Remember, we experienced a sharp decline. Every day the market was going down by 5%. They had to put a stop halt every time. From March, it kept on happening over and over to the point where we was just like, okay, we don't know what to do. Mistake I made, I slightly came out, but I went back in. And when I went back in, I had stocks that were flipping like 5, 6, 7, 8, 10x, which was pretty insane. And I just held there. Crypto didn't really experience its rally until that following year in 2021. And I experienced it because I actually bought Doge around 6 cents. And Doge had already went up. A friend of mine told me about it when it was like under a penny. And if I put in the same amount of money, which I did at that time, talk about it. It would have definitely been in the millions. But I didn't do that. But I didn't look at it as, man, I missed that 1 penny opportunity, so I'm not going to do it. No, I saw that 6 cents. I'm like, it has so much room to grow because the market cap was so low, and crypto's market cap overall was pretty low as well. So I bought at 6 cents, and next thing you know, by April, that thing went to like 30 something cents, and I 5x within a 4-month period, which is pretty insane. I never had a short explosion like that ever at all. But I didn't anticipate for it to get there. The thing too about investing is you don't buy to expect it to reach at this point in 6 months, in a year. If anybody's telling you that they can do that, they are lying to you. You never know, because market is based on human emotions. Part of it, yes, is predictable, but when it comes to the market, it is not predictable. You don't know what policies are going to be in play, like Trump is imposing on the tariffs right now. If he says tomorrow we're dropping all tariffs, I bet you the market is going to go crazy, and you're going to see the Dow, the Nasdaq, SP 500 just start bounding up like crazy. If the Feds come back on Wednesday and say that we're going to drop interest rates by 1%, the market is going to go crazy. They react to things like that. But stuff like that is unpredictable, because that's the human behavior that we don't know. Sometimes that might trigger certain things. But if you look at it from an overall standpoint, zoom out a bit, look at it from a 10-year, not these short-term things, you are going to see that upward trend. It might do a little zigzag, drop here, come back, and then do that, but that's okay. It's going to keep going up, and that's the trajectory of the market. That's why you don't want to miss out on these opportunities while they're being created, because although Warren Buffett took out 25% or more, I think, of his assets, and he has them sitting in bonds, in cash-based assets, he is not totally out the market. A majority of his assets is actually invested in the market, because he knows over time, in the long run, bonds are not going to give him that return. He has to continue to invest in businesses, and he owns a lot of things that are recurring. One I gotta give him so much props for is the insurance. The insurance side, I did not see how great that is until now. Homeowners insurance, auto insurance, they are through the roof right now. Right now, it is a seller's market if you are in the insurance business. People are going to be calling left and right trying to get policies, and policies are being charged at a premium. That premium is a premium price. I got quoted for $9,000 for homeowners insurance for a year in the New York City area. I live in Jersey City, and it is quite crazy. When I first purchased this, my insurance was $1,200, which is about 6 years ago. For now, we are getting so inflated prices, which is ridiculous. Even cars too. Like, I'm getting quotes for $400 per month on car. Meanwhile, when I first got with Geico on a car I bought, which was certified re-owned, initially my policy was around $360, $400. Full coverage. Full coverage. Now it's like, that's how much I'm paying per month. But what that does for someone like Warren Buffett is it keeps the cash pile coming. So as the market is going down, he has something that keeps going on autopilot, so he can keep buying these opportunities. He's not just sitting on his cash and letting it be there. Nah, my man is sitting here buying as things are going down, because on that rebound, that money is going to be sweet and nice. Because remember, he kept on buying so much at a discount that by the time he reached the bottom, he kept on buying. And while it's going up, he still keeps on buying. And by the time it reaches that point where everyone started panicking and fearing, he already made a whole lot of money. From that downtrend to that uptrend, he made a whole lot of money. If you just sat there and be like, I'm just going to sit out, and you timed it perfectly, and you came back when it came at that price, you're at the same place where you left. But if you kept on doing this, that V-shape that happened, you not only came back from your original amount that you had, but that extra money that you invested piled up as well. And that's what we got to think about when it comes to investing. Right now, me personally, I have some other investments I'm focusing on, so I can't keep buying to the market, but I did put a lump sum in terms of investing into certain funds around January. I saw a little bit of declines on the crypto side, and I took that opportunity. I said, I think these are on sale, and I did that. But you got to sit there and wait. You just never know quite the timing of where things are going to happen, because it could take a policy shift. It could take the Fed saying something. It could take the media outlets saying something. Usually that's what triggers it right now. Or like COVID happened, some disease outburst happened, and the whole world start panicking. What does that do for certain stocks? It makes it go up. Like a lot of biotech stocks experienced a surge during that time. You got Moderna, Novavax, Lab, Fluidigm, which I heavily invest in. They experienced that surge, but then once that dies down, there's no more COVID, those stocks aren't really relevant. Tesla is going through a phase right now because of the politics that Musk is involved with. People are slight rioting. On top of that, the market is going down. Tesla stocks are down about half, 50% from where they peaked at early in January. Or Tesla cars going anywhere. You got to think about it. They have a huge market cap on the market. Very huge popularity. A lot of people trust Musk. I'm seeing much more Teslas on the road. I don't invest in Tesla stocks. I'm more favored for Rivian. I'm looking for the next come up, the next Tesla to be. I don't know how long they're going to take, but I'm giving it like 5 years, whatever amount of years it takes. Like Xpeng overseas, China, NEO, overseas China-based cars asset as well. I'm paying a little bit of what they're called the ADR fees to hold on to those stocks, but that's okay. I believe in the long term. Xpeng experienced a bit of a surge from January till now, and it also helps you diversify, right? You're not just concentrated on the car sector in one country, because it might be doing bad in one country but doing better in another. But overall, I do think that market is going to come up at some point, and I don't think Tesla is going anywhere because of much popularity and the things that he's doing. Will it rebalance to a normal price where everyone can be like, okay, it's good price right here? Sure, it's probably going to be 300. I don't know. Eventually, it's going to come back up. It's not going to go in decline forever, because it's not like they're not profitable. They're making profit every single quarter. So those are the things that you got to think about when it comes to investing. Look at the business model. No matter what's going on throughout the economy, tariffs are being imposed, all this uncertainties, is the business model, is it going to stay in business? Is it going to work? Apple, you got to think about these. And if you can ride that wave and believe in the business, then you should invest in it. When it comes to timing it, no one can get it perfectly timed. I've probably only done that maybe once or twice, and it was at an individual stock level, but never at the overall market level. So the best strategies for me that worked, that I've seen return me the most, was that recurring buying. Like, you keep buying every week, every month, you keep that recurring buying, and you just never miss the downtrend at all. You never miss that so-called bottom, because you're gonna hit it at some point, and when it does resurface back up, you capitalize on it. So don't fear, don't panic. I will say, always find your source of why you're investing. Always ask yourself that, because that's what's going to remind you when you are sitting here trying to panic and worried about all this. Why am I investing? If it's for worldly gains and just for the sake of doing something just for yourself, that might not be something that provides you the motivation. But if it is to do a service to others, to provide some type of elevation, even if I could say if it is to yourself, but you're rewarding other people the best way you can with what you're doing, your fundamentals are completely changed at that point. You're serving humanity. Then your reason for investment and your mindset is going to be much more relaxed, and you're not going to go through that phase where you're panicking as much, because you actually have a solid reason behind it, a strong foundation of why you're doing it. For me, that's me giving back to God's kingdom. Although he doesn't need any wealth investment from me at all, but I'm using this as a way to, one, educate people the best way I can, and also leverage those resources. When I do gain, I give it back to the communities that are in need, the organizations that are in need, so that they can continue to evangelize throughout the world with the resources that I'm able to help support them. I know I'm not a major player, but the little bit that I can do, it creates that big of an impact. Homes and real estate for people to actually live in. Those are the things that you want to think about, and to ensure that you have a positive outlook and don't look at the negative. And I'm talking to myself right now as well as I'm telling you all this, so that way you stay strong and have a lot of patience. If you're sitting here thinking about this analytical or perfect timing mindset, it's not going to be good, because you might miss it. We're only humans, and there are other situations we cannot control. So I hope you found all of this insightful. Stay hopeful, stay positive, like, share, subscribe. If you have any questions, drop it in the comments below, or just let me know your thoughts. I look forward to seeing you next time. Trust in Jesus. Have an amazing one.